So this is the homework video for section 9.3. You were assigned on page 537 problems 4 through 8, 14 to 24, and you were supposed to work out the even ones. That's about 10 problems, so I'm going to do half of them. So I'm going to start with problem number 4. Number 4, you have a plus 6 squared. So this is one of your exceptions, one of your special cases. Where you can use a shortcut method, and I'm going to do all of these problems via the shortcut method. Now, if on your homework you want to go ahead and write out this problem as a plus 6 times a plus 6 and work it out using the FOIL method or work it out using the table method, you're more than welcome to. But since this is section 9.3 and we're talking about the special cases and the shortcuts used for them, I'm going to use those shortcuts. So the shortcut for this particular special case where you have a binomial taken to the second power is, first step, square the first term, which is a, so that's going to be a squared. Square the second term, which is going to be 6, so 6 squared is 36. And then take the two terms, multiply them together, and then double them. So a times 6 is 6a, double that, 12a. And they're all positive. And that's it. That's the answer. As simple as that. So you don't need to FOIL it or table method it. And the reason I write the 36 kind of spaced out from the a squared is I know there's going to be a middle term. Now you can write down a squared plus 36 plus 12a. It's fine. It's just not the standard form, so you'd have to rearrange it later. So I know my 6 to the power of 2 is going to be the 0 degree monomial, so I know it's going to be lowest, so it's going to be last, so I kind of leave a space in between for that first degree monomial that I know it's coming from that third step. So same thing here. I'm just going to use a shortcut method. The shortcut method again says first square the first term, so I'm going to square the n. I'm going to get an n squared out of that. Then square the second term. The second term is a negative 11, and the negative 11 to the second power is going to be, you know what, let me write it down out like this. And then the middle is multiply the two terms and then double them. So multiply n and negative 11 and then double that. So what does that give us? N squared plus 2 times negative 11, that's negative 22 times n, that's a negative 22n, and then plus negative 11 times negative 11 is a positive 121. So that's your final answer. You don't have to have these parentheses. It can be just n squared minus 22n plus 121. So that's up to you. But again, that's the shortcut method. Square the first term, square the second term, then multiply the two terms and double them. And by doubling, it means multiplied by 2. Alright, so number 16 is, actually I'm going to draw a line because it's one of the other special cases, one of the other exceptions. It's not the same as the 4, 6, and 8 because it's not the same binomial taken to the second power. It's a pair of binomials being multiplied that are almost the same, except one has an addition going on in there, one has a subtraction going on. So in this case, the shortcut is even easier. You just have to take the square of the first term, doesn't matter which term you use, they're both 2x. So the square of the first term minus, and it's always a minus, so subtract, so that's always going to be a minus. The square of the second term, now it doesn't really matter which one you use, the 1 or the negative 1, because let's say I use a negative 1. So square of the first term minus the square of the second term. That gives me 4x squared minus negative 1 to the second power. That's negative 1 times negative 1. That's a positive 1, but this minus is still there. So that's your final answer. So I'm going to work out problems number 20 and 24 next. In just a second. So next up we're going to do problem number 20. 20 is again part of that second set of special cases where you get the even easier shortcut that only has 2 steps. Again, you're always welcome to FOIL that out or table that out, but I promise you the shortcut is a lot simpler. So the shortcut says take the square of the first term, which in this case is 4g, so 4g squared, then minus or subtract the square of the second term. Doesn't matter which one you choose, the positive half or the negative half. I'm going to choose the positive half this time. So 1/2 squared. Well, that gives us 4 squared is 16, g squared, that's just g to the second power, minus 1/2 squared, that's going to be 1/4, because if you distribute this 2 to the 1, that's still a 1, but if you distribute this 2 to that 2, it's going to be 2 to the power of 2, which is 4. So that is number 20. Let's take a look at 24, the last problem on your list. And the last problem is just like the rest, except they threw in fractions because everyone loves fractions. Alright, same shortcut applies. Take the square of the first term, which is 1.5y squared minus, because there's always that minus, it's a subtraction. Regardless of what's there, the shortcut is first term squared minus the second term squared. The second term is a 3 or a -3. I'm going to choose a -3. It's not going to make a difference. You can choose either one. So the only difficulty here is that you have that 1.5 that you need to square. Alright, so 1.5 squared is 2.25. That one you might have to do a long multiplication or use a calculator at home. Of course, not on the quiz, but I won't give you something that's on the quiz. Y squared minus -3 taken to the second power is a 9. And that's your answer. That looked like a somewhat of a difficult problem to FOIL out or to table out, but with the shortcut, that's it, done. So you have the other 5 problems to do on your own. If you have any questions about this or any other problem, just ask me in class when we go over the homework or at any other time. So thank you very much. Have a nice day.